Hi there, and welcome back to Chatty TV Junkie. I'm Wendy, your TV junkie, and today I'm going to cover Love is Blind, the reunion. They had the finale, and then they had the reunion that they released on Sunday, and it was pretty good. This season is just a complete train wreck, though. But, sometimes train wrecks can be fun to watch. And then I'm also going to cover American Horror Story. Last night was it wasn't the series finale. It was the finale for right now because they had to put everything on hold because of the writer's strike and now the actor strike. So I was right. The second part, they're not even sure if it's completely been finished filming yet. So anyway, we'll get into that. But in the meantime, don't forget to like and subscribe. The buttons are all down below, and give me a big thumbs up on this video and leave any comments down below. Okay, let's get into it. So Love is Blind. We had Lydia and Milton as the only couple that said I do at the finale. They're super cute. She's a little bit older than him, and they're still married. As the reunion, we found out that they're still going strong. He's like, I love my wife and I would do anything for her. He's become a better man because of her. And so he's actually matured a little bit because of her. And they're so cute together. So yay for happy endings. However, that is the only happy ending that we are getting from that season. This was season 5, by the way. If you have never watched Love is Blind, go back and watch it on Netflix, starting with season 1. It's actually really good. Last season, season 4, they had 3 successes. So, you're always hoping for a success story. Unfortunately, for this season, it was only 1 success story, but that's okay. Izzy and Stacy did not say I do at the altar. She was the one that said no. He said yes, and then she said, I'm not ready yet. He was really upset at the finale. And then coming back to the reunion, we find out that they did not get back together again. She was very aloof, and he tried to get back with her, and he still really cared about her, but it just did not work out. They actually ended up going to a cooking class with dates of other people, and they all happened to be there all at the same time. Apparently, the Houston bar / entertainment scene is a lot smaller than you would think. You think Houston, you think it's a huge town. Well, they ran into each other and they got put at the same table, ironically, to do this cooking class. So they were there with their prospective dates, which was probably a little bit awkward, but it was pretty funny to hear about it. But no, they are not together. The most surprising thing that happened on the reunion is Chris and Johnny. Now, if you remember, Johnny really liked Izzy, but then that didn't work out. And then she had already cut it off with Chris, but then she went back and said to Chris, I really do like you. And then at one of the episodes, there was a barbecue and they all got together and Johnny and Chris were together and they seemed really happy. And we're like, okay, maybe this works out. So at the reunion, we find out that Chris went, I believe, to a wedding or somewhere out of town, and then he completely ghosted Johnny. Like, that was it. He was done. And he ends up meeting a girl at the wedding, and now that's who he's dating. And he just bolted. That was it. It wasn't very nice of him to do that. I mean, they were in a relationship. He just ghosted her. I guess, I don't know what's worse, that or a Post-it note. But they are not together. Then Uche, if you remember, he was in sort of a love triangle. Lydia knew him. They found out that Lydia and Uche knew each other before the show, and they decided not to tell anybody. Uche then really fell for Leah, but then she was having issues with him. They did meet in one of the in the finale, and allegedly they dated a little bit after, but she came on the show and said, no, they're done. They don't even talk. She's met somebody that she is really into that was outside of the show, so she's real happy. Uche, he refused to come on the show for the reunion. He didn't want to face anybody, so he just never came back. I guess they're allowed to. I guess they're not contractually obligated to come back for the reunion. And then, of course, we had Taylor and JP on the reunion. They sat on complete other sides of the room. At least Johnny and Chris actually sat together, even though they're not together. But JP and Taylor sat on opposite sides of the room. and they basically still hate each other. So nothing has changed there at all. So we don't know if there's going to be any follow-up. Sometimes they do like an extra show to follow up past the reunion. There's been no word if there will be one. I really don't know why they would have one, because we've got one couple, unless they just do something on them, because I don't think there's anything more interesting to tell us about after the reunion. And then we're still waiting to hear if there's going to be a season 6. If you notice that Nick and Vanessa seemed out of sorts for this reunion. She didn't ask a whole lot of questions. She kind of seemed annoyed sometimes. So I don't know what's going on over there. It's really strange. I know that last season they were calling for them to like not even be the host of the show anymore, but that has not happened. So I don't know what the scoop was. All right. Next, we are going to move on to American Horror Story Delicate. Now, last night I thought was the finale. So I'm watching it, expecting there to be closure and a finale. And at the end, I'm like, what? What was that? That's not an ending. And then I got on my phone and I looked it up, and it turns out that it's not the ending of this story. It's the ending for right now, because they're out of episodes. Between the writer's strike and the actor's strike, they're not finished with it. So it will probably not come back until 2024. We don't even know when in 2024. The actor's strike is still continuing. The writer's strike has been resolved, but we're still waiting for the SAG people, the SAG and the studios to come forth with a deal. And until that happens, and they still have to shoot, possibly, we don't know all the details, but that might not even happen until I don't know when. It's going to be strange watching American Horror Story in like July, if that's when they air it again. But in the meantime, they did run ads for American Horror Stories, and that is going to be airing on Hulu exclusively in another week. There are going to be 4, so I'm guessing they're going to do 1 a week for 4 weeks. And it looks like Lisa Rinna shows up on one of those. If you remember, she was a Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and she resigned and decided not to go back to the show. So apparently she is acting again. So that will be interesting to see. I will say that Kim Kardashian in Delicate has been really good. Emma Roberts, of course, I always love her. And so it'll be interesting to see what happens and how this story resolves itself. There was a book that was written. I don't have any desire to read it, but that's what this story is based on. So yeah, so that's where we are with American Horror Story. Golden Bachelor is tonight, because today is Thursday, October 19th, and I will be watching that this evening. Okay, well, that's all I have for you right now. I will do another Big Brother update. I think everyone's kind of bored with that show, as I noticed that nobody is watching those videos. But I'll get back to that. Maybe I'll do that Tuesday if something great and interesting happens. But in the meantime, thank you for tuning into Chatty TV Junkie. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Have a good weekend.